The very first thing that comes to my mind that was a lot of fun,
Jive, I really like that.
was Jive.
It's free, Jive! It's all free!
The Jive events, it's free,
It's all free!
Just a block party to reach out.
Jive was a cool experience because there was nothing like that in our community.
That was the first big hoorah to get the 24 Church name in everybody's mind in Pleasant View.
And going to that Jive, the first one we went to was a big draw to our church, just how friendly people were.
You know, there were skateboarders there instead of ramps and stuff in the parking lot.
all that stuff was so cool.
You just invited everybody in the community. They would stand at the stop signs and try to get people to come over. And I mean, it was just a huge block party. And I mean, you'd have hundreds of people. We had a blast.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun.
What a good community outreach.
Most of our best laughs were during home team. We would dig into scripture. We would talk about all these important things in life.
You mean like, do all dogs go to heaven?
Do all dogs go to heaven?
Especially Dusty Hudgens Basset Hounds?
I don't think we ever got that question answered. Do you?
Dusty answered it for us.
Oh yes, I remember. Dusty did find that answer. You'll have to get with her to find out, do dogs go to heaven?
The church isn't the building, it's the people. And just how we got to experience that over the years. When we had Ava and everybody showed up at the house, opened up all the baby shower stuff and kind of had the house ready for us when we came home because Ava came early as a baby. And so it is just, 24 is not just the church. I mean, it is a place we gather, but it is the people truly. And over the years, getting to experience that with so many different people over the years has been awesome.
I still remember we were trying to find a new home, and our community group just happened to be in this neighborhood, and we loved this
2
house.
houses down.
And we prayed in the driveway that this would be a place where we could host a community group one day. And we did for years. And so like things like that would have never happened if 24 wouldn't have started.
This is a church that reaches out and loves on the community. Chris and some of the other pastors had just gone away on a retreat, and they'd come back saying, we'd like to do these different ministries as we start up the next year. And one thing they said was they'd like to have a Sunday of service where instead of going to normal church, we would get together and we would serve as our church service for that day. I said, oh, I think that'd be fabulous. And I know exactly who you need to partner with to learn about the structures and how we're going to train the different volunteers and what kind of agencies that we should work with. I just started rattling off all these things. I was so excited. And then Chris said, and we'd like you to lead it. So I'd been voluntold. So we do that now. Twice a year we get together on Serve Sundays and we gather at the church and then we scatter and we serve at schools and neighborhoods and families, and we just find different ways we can come alongside people and love on them.
It gives us an opportunity to tangibly touch the community in ways that aren't churchy. You know, it's not a evangelistic tool as much as it is reaching out and just serving the community directly in things that need to be done, and people can see that the church is not a building, it's the people in the church who are willing to go in and get their hands dirty.
I think it's really special the way that the people of 24 rally around one another and support one another in hard times. Alexis, I think she was 13 when she started going through chemo for brain cancer, and she was losing her hair. And so Chris pulled her up on stage. Did she shave Chris's hair? She shaved his. And then he invited the whole congregation, if they wanted to either cut their hair or shave their head so that we could walk in solidarity with Alexis. So this 13-year-old girl didn't have to go through this by herself. And we did it with her. So we had hairdressers at church that day that either shaved hair or cut hair so we could walk in solidarity with Alexis.
I always knew that we would grow and we would eventually get big, but I never realized we would be as big as we've gotten.
I guess I wasn't that kind of visionary. I was just like in the moment, but God's using it to impact the whole community, and that's awesome.
As a 37-year-old dad of 4 kids now, I think back on that time with 24, and it's very clear to see how God was using that time to sort of plant these seeds for how he would use me now into adulthood. So when I look back on that time at 24 Church, I think my time at 24 Church absolutely, had a huge impact on a lot of the things that I'm fortunate enough to get to participate in today.
I definitely believe 24 Church changed our lives for the better.
It was definitely instrumental in us learning servitude to the community, and it also was a great place for our daughters to connect and grow in the community and in their belief also.
And it's given me some lifelong friends. It's also given me a glimpse of what God can do when you have a group of people that get together to lift Him up.
It was just an amazing time, very spiritually formative in my life and in the life of my family. The Lord called me into ministry while I was at 24 Church. I am truly the man I am today because the Lord brought me back in 2005 to Pleasant View, Tennessee, to this little church startup where we used to do student ministry for adults in a school gym.
It gave me a time to serve and just to love on others. I grew a lot spiritually here.
Well, I think it increased our faith. It really just opened my mind to, you know what, God is going to use who He's going to use.
It was really cool to finally be a part of something and have purpose and see it happening every weekend.
It's cool to me to see I met my husband there. We had kids there.
Just seeing the church grow up as well. We were kids when when 24 started, and then we got married. We've had our own family, and it's kind of like you kind of see the church growing up and maturing as well through that time frame. Has been really cool to experience too.
The mission of being a church of the community has really kind of taken off. So many things are happening now because of what 24 has been able to grow into and is continuing to grow into.
I'm extremely proud to say that I was a part of 24 Church.
I'm just so thankful that the Lord has moved in that place and used that church and its staff, its elders, and its people to not only minister to Pleasant View, but to minister throughout the entire world.
There's no telling what we'll see in the next 20 years from 24 Church.